What's up guys, it's Mark here, back with another video. I hope you guys are doing really well today. I was flicking through my Instagram and stuff like that, and I was thinking about stuff I could make a video about, and I was sort of thinking about how our Instagrams and our portfolios and stuff, we only really ever use them to highlight, it's like a highlight reel of all of the things that we really want to share. And a lot of the time you don't really get to see much about what's happening behind the scenes and stuff like that. So I thought today, to mix things up, I'd make a video and show you guys some projects that I've been working on. I'm going to show you a few designs that I've been doing recently for people, and I'm also going to show you some of the concepts I did that were rejected, so unapproved, and also some of my draft sketches for a couple of the projects and stuff like that, to show you like what some of my actual day-to-day work really does look like, rather than just the occasional things that I post on Instagram. So hopefully you guys find this sort of insight useful. I know people, including me, are always kind of keen to see what is really happening, like a behind the scenes look at stuff. So yeah, I thought I'd share some recent projects. So the first stuff I want to share with you, I actually did just post this design on Instagram, but this is a design that I did a couple of months back, actually probably 3 months ago now, for architects. I actually had the pleasure of doing a whole bunch. I think I did something like 10 or 12 designs for the guys all up, which is awesome. Architects is one of my all-time favorite bands, so I was super stoked when I got asked. So this is a design with the lyrics "Champions of Tragedy" that I did, which was approved. I'm pretty sure it's gone to print now, which is why I'm sharing it. But along with this project, like I said, I did about 12 designs, and I think all up the guys ended up using 5 or 6 of them. So in reality, half of the designs I did weren't used, or they were rejected outright, which is totally fine. It's completely part of the process. I fully accept that. So I thought it would be a good time to show some of the stuff as well that doesn't always make the cut. So in addition to this design, I also did this design here with the lyrics "We sold our souls but couldn't buy salvation," which I thought was pretty cool. I had a good time drawing it. But yeah, this one didn't make the cut. It was rejected, which again, totally fine. I'm not offended at all when that happens. That's part of life. But thought I would just share some of the other things that were running through my mind when I was listening to the album. And I also had this other design with the lyrics "Rotten to the Core," which was also rejected. So again, another bit more of an illustrative concept, which was cool for me because I do a lot of lettering and a lot of type, so it was good to actually draw some stuff every now and then, for some merch. So yeah, another one that didn't make the cut, which is again totally cool. And this was another one of the early concepts based around the lyrics "Hope is a prison." So it's obviously an eye, like behind bars, was kind of the concept I was going for, which also was one of the rejected ones. So again, yep, that's life, but thought I would share it with you guys anyway, so you could see some of the stuff that I come up with when I'm just jamming the album and trying to get inspiration from the lyrics. Because a lot of the time, that's how the bands it's how it sort of works when I'm doing designs for bands. They'll give me the album or ask me to listen to it and just say, come up with, some ideas that you're inspired, by the album. So this is just sort of some of the stuff I come up with. I also recently just finished a project for a company that's a new company called Overcast Coffee over in America. So the project for this is one of those projects where I was given a much more specific vision rather than here's some ideas, come up with something. It was more, I have a company, it's going to be called Overcast Coffee. I want there to be a hand and a cloud somewhere in there, and that was sort of so it was much more specific for me, so I knew exactly to work with hands and clouds. So these are the final concepts. I also drew up a little bit of lettering just to complement it, because I thought it could use some extra branding in there. So these were the ones I sent over: the hand by itself, this sort of simplified cloud, and then this one that's a bit more detailed down below as well. So some of the initial sketches that I did for this one up here was actually the very first sketch that I did. So you can see that it's quite different to what we ended up doing in the end. So that was my initial interpretation of a hand with cloud sort of being involved with it. I sort of clouds coming between the fingers and stuff like that. That was rejected, and the client asked for just like an open palm instead. So I drew up this concept on the right here, and then the client wanted the cloud to be a bit bigger, so I did these other ones down below, and then we redrew the hand as well, and stuff like that, which led back to that other concept that I just showed. So yeah, just thought it would be cool to show you guys some of the process and the exploration behind, because there's often a lot of sketches that lead up to the final piece that you see, and sometimes it ends up being something completely different to where it started. So it's cool to sort of show that, I think. So this other project I'm doing now is for a bar called the Rusty Nail, which is over in New Orleans in America. I did some work for this client once before for a different bar over there, so I was super stoked. I just love everything about this vibe as well. So I drew literally I drew a couple of rusty nails. The client wanted a sort of X, I don't really know exactly what you call these, like an insignia, I guess, with like two lines crossing through the middle of it like that. So I decided to incorporate some actual nails in and see if I could make that work, which I thought was pretty cool. Haven't quite fully wrapped this one up yet, but the client's given me permission to show the work anyway, which is awesome. So I think for me personally, number 4, I love the circular badges and stuff. So that's a real standout for me. I think it could work really good on a coaster, for example, or even like a pocket print on a shirt or a big back print as well for staff. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with this project. Oh yeah, sorry. And there's another photo here of just the actual, the finished design. Added a bit of texture to that one too. Okay, so this project is one that I'm stoked that I've been able to share recently. I've been pushing it a little bit on Instagram, but I'm just really happy about this one. So this is a new clothing brand called Hellbent, and they contacted me and asked me to do the entire first range for their brand, and they ended up using the designs, and instead of screen printing stuff, they actually embroidered everything, which I think looks really cool. They were super cool to work with, sent me a box full of stock as well, which is so nice. I love it when I get to design something for a client and then I get to keep one of the products for myself as well, so I can sort of, have that little souvenir, I guess, of that time. So always really stoked about that. The skull with the horns that I drew on the left here is definitely the standout for me. I really, really loved that design, but overall a really, really cool project. Every now and then when I've got some downtime as well, like if I'm not doing client projects and I'm not working on a new font or something like that, I try and come up with some pre-made designs that I can promote on Instagram and make available for sale at a discounted rate. So this is one that I came up with the other day, which is available. It's not being used if anyone out there happens to want it. And yeah, it's just another way. I'm a really big fan of kind of maximizing downtime. So if I've got nothing on, or if I'm waiting for someone to reply to my email, I'll draw a pre-made design like this, or I'll record a YouTube video like this, or I'll work on a font or something. I think it's just really important to kind of diversify and be working on a whole bunch of things whenever you can. So last but not least, I recently, just last week, got asked to design a new logo for a framing company here in Australia, which is called Framing Hell, which I think is really cool. I love to see that people come up with unique and cool names and visions for companies that could otherwise be kind of normal. Like I'm sure there's no framing company that has a name or a logo like this, which I think is really cool. So the initial brief, the client asked for a tombstone with the words Framing Hell, but also said to feel free to come up with some other ideas if I have any. So I did draw the tombstone, which the client really likes. And I also came up with an idea to draw a Framing Hell hand-drawn script and put like a little devil's tail, I guess, on the tail of the word hell there, which I think is pretty cool. And I put it in a picture frame, which the client was pretty keen on as well. I think I've got a couple more. So this is a photo of the sketch here, the script here by itself that the client really likes, which is awesome. It's all hand-drawn, so it's still a little bit bumpy and stuff, and the client likes that aesthetic, and I do as well, so that's always really nice. And then I added some other additional type to create these sort of lockups here for the client as well. So yeah, I think that sums up a bunch of my recent projects that I've been working on. Another thing I wanted to say is I've got some t-shirts and stuff on my online store, and lately I've had like a lot of you guys have been really, really kind and bought stuff off me. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for the support. It's seriously helps, especially in times like right now. I'm actually getting married this weekend, and so obviously financially it can be a pretty tough time. So I'm really, really stoked to have people that follow me and enjoy my work and support me and stuff. So if you're out there and you've picked something up, thank you so much. Thank you for even watching this video and getting to the end of it. I appreciate that as well. If you like the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up or subscribe if you want. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. It's only fair. And let me know if you guys want to see any other projects that I've been working on. I've got so much stuff in the pipeline that I could share. I've also got a bunch of old projects that people have asked a lot about, so I could share some of the sketches and the initial drawings from those perhaps. So let me know if there's anything you guys are keen on. And thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.